Sean is Call Dad's Welcome back. Today on Fostering Communication, we're going behind the camera.
What?
You've seen his videos all over our social channels, promos, recruiting clips, even this podcast. But this is his first time on screen. Well, maybe you've seen him on a dad joke or two. Have you seen my joke?
Sorry, what was it?
My jokes. But Sean is Call Dad's full-time videographer. And today, we're talking to Sean about how he found his way to Call Dad, how he approaches telling our brand story, and how video is becoming one of the most powerful tools in home services. I'm excited. Let's dig in. So is this one on?
No, actually, this one actually just started working again. I brought it up from the car and it was broken for a while, the shutter. So that means this is gonna go well. That's a good sign.
Breitkreutz?
It's from Japan.
All the way from Japan to Call Dad Studio.
Exactly. Oh wait, Danny, just so you know, your arm's gonna be in frame there.
You can't stand there.
You
He
said
said
this one isn't rolling.
It is rolling.
You said that I should walk between these two and make sure everything's okay.
Oh
Every
no,
now and
sorry. I
then.
meant like once we start.
Sean.
I'm saying it's okay to run in front of this camera occasionally. I'll just not use that part.
Okay.
But that's actually a funny intro.
I knew the way you phrased it, she was going to be bouncing back and forth like a little
Thank
chipmunk.
you.
Like,
That's what
like
that's
check,
what I thought.
Make sure, because that's what you did immediately after you told her that. You were like, here.
And then do
Yeah,
this.
give her
and
some
then do
ping.
that.
Be like a ping pong ball.
Sean.
Okay.
Anyway.
Cue the lever.
The good thing is I know, because I'm typically behind the camera, so I'm going to be cutting out a lot of my, fodder tonight. So we'll see.
This is weird for me, because I'm used to you in that seat.
I know. Same on my end. So
I'm so excited for you to now be on this side. So, without further ado, the one and only Sean Pozda.
it's a Breitkreutz. We had a little discussion before the podcast, so I was saying, think of bright, like bright lights.
LaCroix.
And then LaCroix. We'll take the Kreutz. But yeah, I don't know if you remember that for next time.
Breitkreutz.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's
Kreutz.
Breitkreutz.
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff.
Breitkreutz. Like I said, Sean. All right, Sean. Welcome to Fostering Communication.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm usually. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. It's that switch right. It's actually.
Oh, this one?
No, that's the green screen. Can you hit the switch up there? Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry about your ears. Okay.
How am I supposed to operate after that?
Sorry.
So.
Can I file a workers' comp claim?
Shout out to Dana filling in for me today.
Thank you, Dana.
Get all these levers and switches, so bear with us. I'm used to being on that end of the camera, so yeah.
All right, so speaking of that end of the camera, it's clearly not sound. What got you into video? How did this come about? Like, take me way, way back
Yeah, so
to your first interest in video.
we talked about this a little bit beforehand, but
Yeah.
I went back in my memory of like where it all started, and it was pretty young. Like I was around 8 years old actually, and my dad had like this JVC home video camera. Just
Is that like the old ones that like the thing flips on the side?
yeah,
now?
with the 30-minute tapes.
Yeah.
You put in a VHS cassette adapter, and you can pop it in the VCR player.
My son found one of those, by the way, and loves the thing. Like,
Oh,
it
really?
is like it's like this weird like conversion back
Mm-hmm.
to some like old analog times. Like, I think they like the old school like physical camera as opposed to just the phone. So
Yeah.
anyway,
No.
I feel like I can picture exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Did he snap his iPad in half and he was like, "I'm going to this"?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. We don't let our kids have technology, Sean.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, like it was the JVC camcorder.
Yeah.
I remember I saw Indiana Jones, like one of the first like films that felt a little bit more adult.
Yeah.
It's before they invented PG-13.
Yeah.
So some of the crazy scenes in that, like just shook up my mind at that age. So
when you found that, did you try to like recreate stuff immediately?
I had my dad. I'd give him the camera, and I would wear my mom's riding boots and shorts. And she had a riding crop, so very different take on Indiana Jones.
Please tell me that you have some picture of this that you can cut like.
I might have to, I'm gonna have to find an adapter, but I have a box of old tapes. I went through this.
Yes.
And what's funny is like my dad was behind camera doing the whole theme song like dun 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 at the ending, and
so this was like a family production.
Yeah, and my dad, I didn't realize this because my mom's more the artist in the family. Like my dad's, he's an engineer and he works for this company. He actually showed me stop motion. Was like the first time that I actually was pressing the camera.
Yeah.
And it's not the typical way, but he was just pressing pause and play really quick. And there's like this doll that my sister's doll, he like had it, slowly moved it from under the couch.
Yeah.
He played it back, and it was like 10 seconds, but it looked like it was moving.
Moving real fast.
So it was really my dad, and I actually had kind of forgotten that he was the first one who really kind of instilled like the interest in me. I don't think he knew what he was doing at the time.
Yeah, but it was like his own curiosity that showed to you when you were playing around with literally the family camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that blossomed into a career.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is really funny how like those small moments when you're a kid, especially spending those small moments with a dad or a mom, can really influence your entire life. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, something else that we were talking about, and I don't know if you want to jump into this right now.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me because we spend so much time here talking about the importance of our apprenticeship program, what it does for the individual, like from stability, from, just literally having that assurance that you have a job the rest of your life, like you have a career path. You can go anywhere in the world and do this trade, right? So there's this stability aspect, plus there's like big financial rewards in these careers because there's a shortage of people. It's just simple supply demand, right? So we're always talking about that aspect of this trade. You went like the furthest possible direction away from that. Because I mean, when you think about the arts, like the odds of success in the arts, or the odds of finding your niche, or the odds of finding something are so few and far between. So like, what was that like was there a specific moment where you knew like this is a big enough passion that I'm willing to forego stability to chase a dream?
I think it was probably in that period, like towards like the end of like elementary school, actually, into like middle school. That's when I was really like with like pulling in the neighborhood kids and friends, and like it really just felt like something. We were just so excited to like record something, and then we'd just shoot it in order, and then pop it in and be like, we made another movie. I think it was around that time period I kind of locked in and thought this
like
is
you
gonna be
made the
path.
decision at that age that this is my future, this is my career.
I think it's just something that carried me. It was a kind of way of understanding the world or around me in a way, in different phases and throughout adolescence. Those periods where I was like trying to do sketch comedy in high school, and
did you understand, like, did it ever occur to you at that age that it was a tougher career path? Like, did you know that when you were following your passion? Like, did you know, like, hey, this is going to be tough? Because this is what I was alluding to, is like, we were talking about your dad. Like, your dad had one career, one path. Was it one job?
Yeah, and the way he was raised, it's his parents were, I guess, silent generation. They were very much like, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't. Very strict about, and he just kind of felt like, I'm gonna go on this path and like job security. And I think my dad, there's an artistic side to him. Like, he loves Bob Dylan, playing guitar as long as I could remember. He'd always sit back and be like, I wish I was like a forest ranger. I'd really do great at, like, he'd always be a dreamer, and so he'd always.
I'm meant for the forest.
So my dad, I think, in some ways, like, saw something different in me and didn't want me to do this same path, and he kind of wanted. He saw how serious I was about it, and he wanted me to shake things up. I do think he was always on edge a little bit what that meant,
Yeah.
And for me, as a young kid, you just kind of plant something in your mind, and you're kind of a dreamer, so you think it's just going to work out. Risk-taking mentality, like this is going to work out, kind of followed me into even through college and 20s, but it gets harder as you get older and realize what that world actually looks like.
But just having the support, like I think about that probably too much, but it's that level of the small decisions or small things that I do with my kids could potentially impact them the rest of their lives, right? And it's that level of like just playing with a camcorder with your kid could end up dictating, a passion that they have for the rest of their life. But then there's also that secondary act, which your dad did for you, which is a really hard thing to do as a father, because you always want, like you said, stability, security, you want financial independence, like you want to instill all of these core philosophies of life in your kid because you want them to have those things, right? But your dad did more than that, because he also gave you, I want to say he gave you permission, but it sounded like he gave you support in an area of like, hey, it's okay to not take the same path that I took, right?
Yeah, and there might have been times, I think, where he like probably felt, I never really fully asked him, but he might have felt like, did I make that right call? Because I remember when I got my first...
Well, that's just being a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just like every decision or everything that I say to my kids, I think that. So
yeah, because I remember my first job, just a little sidetrack here, but my first job out of college, like moved to, worked at a restaurant, but saved up just enough money to move to like New York, but without lining up something. So I was like, okay, now I cornered myself, and so like I can pay 2 months rent. But my first job was like a office PA position. I was lucky a friend knew I was moving, and he left that job. It was a show called God Friended Me, season 2. Not a great show. But this is right before the pandemic, but I remember, they kind of, this is before
season 2, now streaming on.
Yeah. Well, it's canceled now, so.
Now canceled on.
Pandemic screwed that one up, but
that's what I'm talking about. Like, sorry to cut you off, but that's what I'm talking about is like, there's such a different, like, here we're preaching, come join our apprenticeship program where you get paid training and you get blah, 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 and all that. And like, you can go anywhere. We're preaching that. Yeah. And you came from a world of, you literally moved to New York City to follow a passion with a few $100s.
Basically, yeah.
Like, that, I don't know how else you could describe passion and how, like, just the juxtaposed to what we're trying to do here. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I look at the text. I'm like, I need to make that choice.
Because it's just, like, to care so much about something that you are willing to risk those things to go after it. So I have a lot of admiration and respect for you, just because I know the risks that you took. I know the path that you went down, and I know how hard that can be.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So kudos to you for being willing to do that, and kudos to your dad for being willing to support, your passion like that. So anyway, I'm sorry for spending so much time on that, but like, to me, when you told me that, I was like, we got to talk about that, because that's special, and it's also super scary what you did. But the fact that you made it through that, and the fact that you're just a great human being all around, like, is really, really, really cool. So
that means a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah. And you having young kids, I'm sure you think about this stuff. So So, how old's your oldest? Like 11, you said?
Yeah. Well, she's about to be 12. But yeah, it is a constant conversation, because my wife and I are almost probably too aware of the influence that we have, and not wanting to push them into things that, we maybe were pushed into, like, from a sports perspective, but also like not wanting to try and force them square peg round hole into school. Like, there's so much, and it's not unique to me. I mean, that's just being a parent. Yeah. But like I said, I don't want to derail the conversation. When you told me that story, it was very meaningful to me. And the fact that you're aware of that is pretty freaking cool. Yeah. So kudos to you.
Yeah. And apologies if your daughter's like, Dad, I want to be a painter the next year. You're like, damn it.
No. You will not be a painter.
knock the brush out of her hand. No, I'm kidding.
I'm joking. I'm not that kind of dad. Maybe. But no electronics.
Yeah. Really quick, so the funny thing, the levels are right here next to me. The
So
mic
when I
mixing,
made that loud sound.
I'm just looking at them. I shouldn't have put it in my peripheral. That's a bad idea.
As I've been coached on, I can turn you up. I can't turn you down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about Call Dad? Given, because we could go on for hours, like some of the stories that you have about films you've been on, all that, like we could go on forever about that. But like, what about Call Dad? Given what you were doing and given the passion that you have, was interesting to you? Like, why did you end up taking the opportunity?
So I spent a few years in New York, and I came back to North Carolina area. And a big reason initially was some of my favorite collaborators, just on a personal level, lived in the area that I kind of grew up around. And we talked about just reconnecting. But part of me felt kind of confused at this period in life where I was like, jumping from set to set, but in New York and struggling to make
it's rent. A hustle.
And thinking like, I don't really make my own things anymore. I felt like, is this what it's going to be, just being on 14-hour sets, and then you kind of get through the weekend, and you have maybe a week off, but then you're like, what's my next job going to be?
Yeah.
I kind of hit this like low point. I had this whole reset. I went back home for some time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of just saw things in a new perspective, the different avenues my job could take me or my skill set. And I was looking for something like, full time. And I realized like, advertising and marketing, that's a real place that you can really show your skills. And some of the great filmmakers, everyone goes into advertising, and Spike Jonze, or even David Lynch, or
I'm surprised Spike Jonze is the one that you went with.
He's got some crazy music videos and stuff.
Not who I would have thought you would pick, but
like Wes Anderson.
There you go. Yeah, that's who I thought you would say.
But and I remember I was looking around, and I looked at some place. Discovery Place, for example, had some kind of opening, and I went there and I kind of felt like this is not quite the right vibe, and I was kind of like a slightly negative state of mind, and I saw the Call Dad opening, and I remember I clicked on the website initially, and something about it just like totally stood out, and it was not what I expected. Because when I think of HVAC, I think of just a boring commercial of some units with the price, and just kind of pans across, and just kind of escapes your mind immediately.
$1,500 off.
Yeah. And I found some of the radio ads, and at first I can't lie, I was a little bit just like, let me just put on an application, and just kind of see. But then I talked to Reba, was the first person I talked to, and she kind of gave me more insight about the company and like how fast the company's growing and what's really happening and what the voice and brand looks like. And I have a real I think knack for comedy. I love doing horror stuff, but
we haven't noticed at all, have we?
Check out the Halloween episode. No.
No! Derek, no!
That's light horror though. But something just clicked where I was like, wait, this company's at this state right now where it's like just about to take that next leap. It felt like from a marketing standpoint, and I got this sudden inspiration of like, what if I could really sink my teeth into this and kind of really help create like a whole voice that could carry on and evolve for years to come, and kind of be like at the precipice of that. You know? I was like, what? It just felt like a really great moment, and I liked what the brand was, what it's pushing for, calling Dad, and this idea of, it kind of felt a little retro in some ways too, which is something, as you can tell by the room.
I was like, what retro? There's nothing retro about this.
By the way, that picture over there, where'd you get that baby picture of me and those teddy bears?
Don't ask.
Okay.
It's why I lead this organization.
Gotcha.
I'm good at sourcing things like that.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of had these expectations of what you could do, and then what was that like when you finally got here? Like, was it what you expected? Was it very different than what you expected? Like, how did the rubber meet the road?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought my anxiety maybe initially coming from, just being in New York and being on film sets, and maybe the circles I was in was maybe that I wouldn't fit in, or like some people might look at me like who's this guy coming in, or maybe it was just like I had cliches in my mind of
Like
maybe
you'd be an outcast or
like potentially an outcast or just being like my own bubble. Maybe the technicians would be like, "What are you doing, city boy?" Or something like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain exactly, but and I remember pretty quickly. I think I went out on a ride along my first week. It was with Nick. Grenwald is the last name I don't quite know how to say, but I
listen to episode 21.
21, yeah.
21?
You can one in here. Yeah.
We can do a mouth over if that.
Yeah.
Episode. Yeah.
Exactly. And I sat. The first day was a little bit nerve-wracking,
Which I can see is like, where do I fit in to the business? And then also, it's number one, this whole brand around called Dad retro mentality. And then on top of that, it's people in the field doing the trade. So it's like, here I am with a camera trying to fit in.
Yeah,
like
that midway point between maybe like the office side of things, but also the technicians in the field.
Yeah.
And I remember we thinking, do I have to come in here and like immediately start having like ideas for you guys? I remember having that thought, like, was an expectation as like the manager of the video department, because I remember when we all went out to lunch, a couple of the managers in different departments, and everyone had different ideas. And I remember you told me early on, like, hey, a lot of people are going to have ideas, but just,
people are going to fight over you.
Yeah, and I remember pretty quickly, and it's funny, it's kind of sidetracked from this, but we had like a list of like, I think you guys were probably figuring out too, like the best way to kind of steer me in the right direction. And I remember being a little overwhelmed, like that first week, like, am I going to be, what do I even start with?
Yeah, where do I start?
And I think the first one was like, the first video I was kind of working on a little secretly that I showed you guys was like a collection of the footage, my first couple ride-alongs. I made a video to the song That's Life by Frank Sinatra. And it was almost like that was like a real check for me because you guys really liked it. And
it was incredible. I still, from time to time, if I'm in a Sinatra mood, I'll go watch that video.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Plays in the lobby still, right? So, and then we found out it was $50,000 to buy the song for the year.
So it's never been played to the public once.
That'll change in a year from now. But I remember that was like the real moment of
Sinatra Family Trust. Please reach out. We'd be happy to partner.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding.
But after that, I was like, okay, like I got this, And the more people I met, I realized everyone's come from such different backgrounds, and I realized how much I related to everybody. It wasn't like a different world that I was going to be the outcast in, or seen as maybe just the corporate guy with the camera who's getting everyone's way, and no one wants to be on camera, or it's a hassle for people, which it can be sometimes. Right, Dana?
Sometimes.
No question about that. All right, let's get in the job itself.
Yeah.
What would you say is the hardest part of your job that people don't see or people don't maybe give enough credit to?
It's actually funny because actually what people don't see, it's like you want the stuff you put out, people not to notice any issues. It's like making everything seamless. It's like the invisible things that, like a sound effect or a choice in a transition or a shot that you just feel it. You just get lost in an edit of something. You don't know what all goes into it. I think it's all like those microcosms coming together.
All right, so because what I honestly thought you were going to say was the whole editing side of it, because, I mean, and maybe it's just you're so good at it now, but the amount of work and some of the stuff that you've shown me and just how you navigate, it's incredible. But it seems like it can be insanely overwhelming as well. But I think what you're saying is it's not the work associated with the editing, it's the nuance of making sure that you didn't miss anything in the final product that would make it seem like it's edited.
Exactly.
Is that?
Yeah, and on top of that too, I think now especially it's like the time allotted and like getting everything, because now I'm kind of have my hand in multiple pots. It's not like one project a week. It's just it's for myself. Sometimes getting better at organizing my thoughts or like my calendar. Because I notice myself can like something else will pop up and I'll like sidestep sometimes.
Get distracted. Easily.
And then like, I'm still getting kicked in the butt by not having a Spirit Week video yet. That was
Yeah.
2 weeks ago now. But I have
Yeah.
all this content and recognizing what to put out, when to.
Yeah, so you're getting pressure on Spirit Week, and then I'm like, hey, you need to come to Virginia with me to record TV commercials.
Yeah, which that was great. I love doing that.
Spirit Week still isn't out.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out February 1st. No, but
Tune back in February 2027.
yeah, and I think it's just like the sometimes like artists struggle like making sure everything's
Yeah.
like just as good or better than the last thing.
Perfectionist, yeah,
But
yeah.
not, and recognize sometimes it doesn't have to be that, as long as it's getting out there.
Yeah, like feeling like you constantly have to one up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What has been the most challenging video that you've done so far at Call Dad?
Ooh, that's the one probably was Father's Day video. It wasn't utilizing B-roll and just kind of, being the fly on the wall and using that
Yeah.
footage. It's more of, I came to you guys with a concept that involved like, match cutting between a life in the field as a technician to taking care of the kids at home and the chaos of that and how they kind of interplay.
Yeah.
And it was challenging also because I'm asking guys after work, to go to their homes, and I had to like drive pretty far
Yeah.
for some
Hey,
of
let me
those.
go film your family.
Yeah, and like, can your kids act?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and
Pretend like you love your dad.
yeah, and it's like, and finding that balance, and like, 'cause some people don't always recognize what time
Yeah.
it actually takes. But that was a challenge because it was organizing people's schedule, getting it out before like a holiday date where like you have a deadline's the holiday, and honestly just wondering if it's gonna work when I get all these pieces from different groups, and the edit was different than the scripted version, but
Yeah.
it kind of just flowed better that way.
Yeah, some of those transitions from the actual work to the same motion with the kid, like
Mhm.
that to me was really, really powerful.
Mhm.
Like I really, really liked what you did with that.
Yeah.
And it was a nice, like, it's a different tone. Like, that's one awesome thing about our brand, in
Mhm.
my opinion. We talked about this a lot early on, is like there's so many different channels that you can touch on,
Mhm.
from emotional, from humor, from
Mhm.
nostalgia, from like just these different tonalities that we can hit in
Mhm.
video. And that was probably one of the, I mean, obviously the That's Life one was a perspective on a tough day's work, but the Father's Day to the brand is
Mhm.
is that nuance of like transitioning a tough day's work back to being at home,
Yeah.
right?
and-
Which is a really hard thing for a lot of people to do. Most people don't admit it, but to get home and then immediately be in mom or dad mode
Yeah.
is a tough thing to do. And I think you did a good job of capturing it in that
Yeah.
video.
No, I appreciate that, and I think it was the first time for me coming to you guys with like a more like, here's a pitch for something,
Yeah.
like a scripted thing that we're gonna have to go outside of people's schedule and everything. So I think
Yeah.
that was a big part of it.
All right,
too.
so that was your hardest. What's been your like favorite? And I don't know. I guess
yeah.
favorite's a hard one, but like pick a category. Like what video has been the most fun for you to make? I'll take favorite out of the equation.
Wow, I think maybe this might be a recency bias thing, but I'm really proud of how like the Halloween series turned
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Because he was a bad speller. Yes! 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 Derek, you're back!
Dana was a huge part helping with that too. Really quick, I want to give Dana a shout out, by the way. She really helped set out this room too, so I don't want to take all the credit.
Dana,
And Halloween-
pop in away. There you go.
Set deck master there. But that one was just like, because I think it took what we've already kind of been establishing with the
Yeah.
dad jokes. It took elements of the holiday, and at that point I was like super comfortable with like, we can like spin the ball here and do something a little wackier.
Yeah.
And also getting Derek out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
We'll have to clip a little portion of that video here, but
It's gonna be awkward, but give like the most insane like open mouth.
Wide eyes open about.
Here, you wanna?
oh yeah, thanks.
I
I
think
think
you did such a good job with that, and
Yeah.
like just the little suggestions that you gave, and like how quickly we pulled that thing together is really awesome.
Yeah, and it was nice seeing you really kind of excited about it. You know,
Yeah.
'cause I think, I'm sure sometimes, because I got to pull you aside from your day to day to like,
Yeah.
since you started doing this whole series, and
Yeah.
But that one you came in like it seemed like you were just ready to go.
Yeah.
And we went over time than typical.
Yeah.
But it was nice that everyone kind of locked into like
Yeah.
the mode.
I always feel bad because it's like we talked about that dad transition. It's the same for me because I go from, like the work mentality, and then I have to come in here where you're trying to get me to be creative, and it's such a like to make that switch mentally.
Yeah.
And then I always feel like you're a little scared to be like, what do you think about, like you're worried that I'm gonna be like, no, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, no, I'm always like, dude, let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
try it.
The first round I'm like, okay, he's the CEO. And also I feel like did it take wrong or
Yeah.
something. It's like it's weird to tell your CEO like do it again. That was
Yeah. No. Like, hit me with it. That's
Yeah.
I'm
Our
always
relationship
for
has
that.
turned weird. It's like most people, it's like, okay, we're gonna look over like report of how we're doing, and
Yeah.
for me, I'm coming to you with like balloons and
Yeah.
a whistle. Like we gotta work. So
We got to find somebody to release these balloons. Oh, hey, Daniel.
so it's definitely got
Who,
wacky, but
awesome sport, by the way. Like, he was such a sport about doing that.
And quick aside, that's been a really impactful thing for me is like recognizing all the people at the company and have different voices, and every time a new person gets involved in a video or one of these short pieces, or I can work with someone new on their process or something,
Yeah.
it kind of just includes them as almost like the cast of characters in the whole Call Dad world. So that's always
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
see,
again, even in the short time that we've been doing it, it's
Mhm.
really cool to see the evolution of what we can do and where we've been, and the different channels emotionally that we can touch on. Like, it's so much fun. So I hope you've seen, and I know you're always trying to one up yourself, but like every video has a different feeling, and I think that's pretty cool that they can stand on their own
Yeah.
without having to one up each other.
Yeah.
So good job on that.
Next is romantic comedy.
Oh no. No.
And then courtroom drama.
I have to practice my McConaughey.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see.
All right. I can't do it. All right. See, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's a classic. Dazed and Confused. That's where that's from, right?
Yeah. I think this is a good scene to take my shirt off. That's like the old McConaughey. Yeah, we're cutting that one out. Who is that? That was, I feel like I've seen that. It was like Matt Damon making fun of McConaughey.
Was it?
And he was like interrupting the director, and he was like, I think this would be a good opportunity for me to take my shirt off.
Was it? You gotta, after
We're
that, you gotta
starting
pull the
with
clip.
that at the beginning of this podcast, by the way.
A cold opening. all right.
Not
I can't-
PC. All right.
I just realized I'm blending in with the couch, like with this cardigan.
You're
like,
perfect.
It's like I'm just a head floating.
You're not a head floating. You're fine.
My skin is salmon too, so I'm just, like,
The salmon skin.
just gonna blend.
No collar, no neck, no head. Just couch. See, now this brings whole new meaning to nice coat. Who shot the couch?
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
We got another dad joke in here too. Sorry, I'm dragging us, Matt.
All right. Let's
Focus.
land this thing.
Okay.
What's happening?
All right. Now McConaughey is stuck in my head. What is one thing that you want the Call Dad team or our audience to know about how you think about video and what your approach in the future will be to the brand voice?
Not falling to the trap, I think, of like the trends, and it's important to be aware of certain trends, but I think finding a separate spin on it and like finding like really your company's voice, because I think it's easy sometimes to lock in like, oh, what are they doing, or what are they doing over there. I think it's good to glean from, but also like recognizing what makes your company stand out and like your culture, and challenging that. I think we talked a little bit about it, but involving like different assets of the company's culture, like if you're going for something more lighthearted, but also like recognizing when to like really go for the feels and the heart of things.
Here's one thing. I don't know what you said that just made me think of this, but it's this dynamic that when it was Sky, right, or even probably shortly after the Call Dad rebrand, if somebody showed up with a camera,
Mm-hmm.
like back when the culture wasn't completely like as strong as it is today, like I feel like people would scatter. Like
Really?
it would be like, Sky back circa 2017, if you walked in the warehouse with a camera,
Mhm.
like people would run.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hilarious now because if we show up at a location to film some dad jokes, like people are like, "Oh yeah," like they want to be part of it. I don't think I've ever seen us ask a volunteer, and I want to be clear when I say us, I mean you, because obviously if I'm going to corner somebody, they're probably going to say yes. But like for you to ask somebody on the side to do something, and they're like, "Yeah, like I want to be part of that." Like that's, to me, that's a message in and of itself that what you're doing is working, because
Mhm.
people want to be part of it. People want to be included in it, and they're excited when they see you show up. They're not inconvenienced or they're trying to avoid it.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you've ever thought about that or taken a minute to reflect on that, but that's pretty powerful because I've seen people run from cameras
Yeah.
before,
I
and
think
they
you
don't
made
do
it-
that around you.
Yeah, I think you made it more tangible. You just saying that now, because maybe I should reflect more on that aspect, because sometimes I can get caught up in the grind of doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't always think of like reset and sit down and look back about maybe how it might have affected someone's life or
Yeah.
people wanting to be involved.
Yeah.
Because that was actually kind of a fear of mine was now that I think I found a little bit more of a scheduled rhythm of here's what we need to release and put out. The small fear I had was like almost like maybe losing that ground level from the technicians, or like
Yeah.
moving up in a way that I'm just kind of constantly in a corner doing this one thing. I'm losing time to meet with techs or like see who's new in the company. And
Yeah, I hear that, but I think one thing that is unique is that it is it's a true reflection of the culture,
Mhm.
right? And that really helps whenever you're trying to be creative or you're trying to do things. It makes it so much more natural.
Mhm.
And it makes people, again, like I said, not want to avoid it because you're not asking them to do anything that isn't part of who we are as a business anyway.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
if you want to go ride with somebody, they're like, "Come on, like yeah,
Mhm.
let's go have fun." Like, and you end up with great content and
Mhm.
great quality stuff that you can put out because again, you're truly just representing the culture and people want to show who we are.
Mhm.
And now if you're going out and asking people to be fake,
Yeah.
or you're asking people to do things that aren't genuine, you're gonna have problems.
Mhm.
And I think that's what you've done is a real good job of finding like genuine opportunities
Mhm.
to highlight genuine culture moments.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
And I think like recognizing that too, it's like because I think there's like that line you're afraid to cross sometimes where you
Yeah.
think of like what's professionalism
Yeah.
versus like reality.
Yeah.
And I
you
think
mean like talking about McConaughey for 5 minutes in the middle of
exactly.
this.
And we learned this with Wizard of Ads, and everything.
Yeah.
But don't be so like shy about like shaking things up or like maybe
Yeah.
an ad or something that might be just on that nose of like, oh, that's maybe not too far, but
Yeah.
or that we shook something up a little bit. That'll stick in someone's mind more, and it's
Yeah.
more, I think, more real.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be super just polished and fake. And
Yeah.
because then I think people would feel that,
And I feel like you're always trying to find that line where you're like, back to, we talked about this, but back to that nuance of like, you think I'm going to say no to something.
Yeah.
It's like, at what point do you get me to be like, no, we're not going to do that joke?
Yeah. The only time that happened was maybe the bird. I remember I gave bad direction.
the bird, but also the one that I was even worried about was the Edith, the Kate and Edith one that Todd just did.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is weird. You want me to read this? The whole thing? I once loved two girls at one time. You can't have Kate and Edith too? You can't have cake and eat it too? Is that where we're going?
It was but it was a genuine reaction, I think. That stuck
Yeah. Oh
out.
yeah, they're all genuine.
Yeah.
All right. Landing this sucker.
Mhm.
Any final thoughts? Any closing things you want to share or talk about?
Well, I think one thing that I am excited for is like Call Dad continues to grow. One day have like a whole studio, almost like in-house studio system of different people, and that excites me. The dream of like being able to like pass the torch down to like new people, like new
Yeah.
apprentices in that world, and like we got guys going on ride-alongs, getting footage.
Yeah.
I'm working on maybe like a longer form video. And it was just like expanding out. I think that's something that I really think's going to be a big thing in the future.
Yeah.
And the content wagon here will just kind of continue to grow, and like more voices will be shared. I think that's really exciting for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see it happen.
Yeah,
All right.
These cameras are still rolling, right?
Yep.
He's been freaking out the whole
Don't
time.
you worry.
He's like,
It's
is it working? Is it working?
I thought it's something that viewers may want to see a little bit. If y'all riff a little bit more about the dad jokes, like how did you feel when Sean came up to you and said we're going to do 365 dad jokes? Find time in your busy day to act. Maybe your reaction to that or something along those lines.
That is interesting. Yeah.
You know something? It's funny because I think I was probably relieved that you went about it the way you did. Because the first time that I heard about it or that we talked about it was more of this dynamic of me just in front of the camera reading a dad joke, like one a day, like just read the dad joke, that's it.
Yeah, like maybe a room with some items in the background.
Yeah, but nothing like beyond. It was just like, I'm Matt, and then you tell the joke and then that's it. And it's like, that's number one, that's not my personality. But number two, like that's, I don't know, that's just really vanilla and just not, it did not interest me, and I did not think it would come across well. Not a good representation of the brand. So when you, like the first time that we went to record them and like some of the stuff that you were coming up with doing, I was like, oh, this is a little like you crawling across the floor, you watering like some random dead plant. You know that's not real, right?
Miguel slapping a salmon on like a prank.
And I was like, okay, like, all right, I was glad that you were taking some liberties, creative liberties outside of what is just like dry dad joke comedy.
Yeah, and for me it's fun because it's in my wheelhouse. I realized, and I think I had to kind of make it my own in some way. Of like finding some kind of wacky frame that's kind of like a portrait a little bit.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit kind of manicured in a goofy way. Like it does feel like a little bit of a set, like a dollhouse that you're in, and like things are happening on cue.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, some of them are kind of surreal, which is like that's kind of the fun of it. It's a palette to just experiment.
The thing that still blows my mind is like how many of them come together so well on one cut. And then also what's hard for me to still get comfortable with is not reading the jokes before you film. Like I want to know what's in the card. Yeah. So, but it's also, it comes across well because a lot of the reactions that you see is me trying to figure out what the hell the joke says. Yeah. It's like, what? Which Sean always blames on his handwriting.
Yeah.
It is his handwriting.
Yeah, it's a little messy. Yeah. P's and B's look the same, but
it's only been twice though that I've actually had to stop because I couldn't read it. So you're not that bad.
But let me ask you really quick. When we shot that first round, it was like I think the cubicles in like that conference room that now is changed. You know, we weren't getting super ambitious yet, but it was when we wrapped that day. Did you think like, are these gonna work, or was it more having to see the edits and kind of? Did you walk away feeling weird from that? Like,
no, I was actually excited. What made me think that they would work, and it's tough because this could go both ways, but what made me think that they would work was I was excited to show my kids.
Okay, wow, yeah.
Right, and when I had that moment of like being excited to show my kids because of just the quirky nuances of them, I was like, all right, maybe somebody else will be excited to show theirs, or share, because it's not like what a lot of the social media is today, which can be raunchy or push the limits or comedy that's political or like all. It's just like genuine fun and representative of a cool culture. and you can share that with anybody. So like when I was excited to show it to my kids, I was like, okay, this may be something. And then when I showed it to my kids and they loved it, I was like, okay, that's cool. And it wasn't one of those like, this is just because Dad's on here. It was because they were laughing at like this. They were laughing at you crawling across the floor and you watering a plant. Like they were laughing at the nuance of other things going on. And that was, to me, again, just, I was like, okay, this may work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it's clicked together, and we've about 70, or no, we're actually more than that deep.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see where those evolve,
Yeah.
and once the next campaign after that phase of videos, you know.
But it was cool. I mean, again, it was sooner probably than you would have thought that I would be, all right, I'm good with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I truly do have a personality where you tell me what you need and you will get that from me. Like if you're passionate about something, I want to match your passion level, because if you care, like I need to care just as much, especially if it's at this business. You know, I take that approach to most of my life, which can be very frustrating to my wife because she's like, you're always at a 10.
Yeah.
But it's just I take my passion with me in everything I do. So if you show me any level of passion, and that doesn't matter whether it's video or whether it's being a tech, like I'm gonna match your level of passion. So thank you for being passionate, and it's fun to match you there.
Yeah. And thank you for, you know, allowing the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Thank you, Dana, for asking questions,
Gladly.
which were not approved or signed off on.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just a better director than Sean.
Yeah. You are.
Just kidding.
Except for that sound earlier.
Oh no! All right.
Bat's gonna get its use.
Oh my God.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Okay.